What's going on, Internet? IG back again today, and today's video is going to be a little bit different from a standard kind of look at a Linux distribution per se. What I want to be doing in today's video is kind of just take a step back and look at, I guess, the widespread successes or shortcomings of a particular Linux distribution. In this case, Manjaro or Manjaro. I have no idea. I don't even want to start with pronunciations. I'm going to go with Manjaro, and the reason, I guess, behind this this video is, and stay with me here, because I realize there's a lot of back and forth in the Linux world regarding these metrics in particular, but I couldn't help but notice the other day when cruising around on the internets, and trust me, I don't actually spend that much time on this particular site, but I couldn't help but notice that the popularity contest that is the DistroWatch page hit rankings over the last 6 months have gone undeniably in Manjaro's favor, like by a long shot. And I agree, the DistroWatch page rankings are not any serious numbers to go by, but to every stereotype there's always an element of truth, and so I think it's worth taking a note of any distribution that is in the top 10. Ones that I haven't looked at in quite a long time would be MX Linux and Zorin, and I think those are two distributions that are getting a lot of user base just from what I've heard reverberating around the internet, and all of these top 10 distributions are great in their own right. But I really wanted to look at Manjaro today and look at why exactly is it getting so popular. Now, again, these page hit rankings are not all that we should use when it comes to what is popular in the Linux world. And actually, to be honest, the very nature of Linux makes it very hard to track what distribution is most popular. Now, far and away, probably the most popular distribution that is run on just sheer number of hardware out there is probably Ubuntu, and most of the research that I've done up to this point points to that. But also on desktop Linux, Linux Mint is definitely up there. The problem is, of course, since both of those are based on the same system, it could be that Linux Mint's numbers and Ubuntu's numbers could be kind of fudged into one, but there is definitely one trend that holds true. As you can see on Google Trends, which is simply an algorithm that shows how much people have searched for a particular search term, you can kind of see how distributions like Manjaro have peaked and troughed at different times in their life cycle. But definitely there seems to be a lot more interest, even in the last year or so, for a distribution like Manjaro versus something like Ubuntu, which, as you can see, year on year has kind of been declining since 2013. So I think, to me, this is very, very interesting. Now, again, like I said, it's impossible to know user share of Linux distributions out there, but just based on the amount of comments on YouTube and discussions on Reddit and in forums and so forth and so on, a lot of desktop Linux users seem to find themselves enjoying and landing on Manjaro as the distro hopper's cure. And that's what I want to explore today. So why is it that people love Manjaro so much? First of all, I think the main reason that Manjaro is it seems to be winning a lot of user base has got to do with its roots. Now, it is based on Arch, but it is not Arch Linux. They are very distinct projects now, but it inherits a lot of the fantastic elements of Arch Linux, including, in my opinion, a superior packaging system, so that the packages that are presented in, and the way that software is packaged in Arch-based distributions is, I think, technically better than Debian and maybe even some of the RPM solutions out there. Now, when it comes to, I guess, terminal tools, I think Zipper and DNF and Pacman are all very, very good command line package managers. I don't think apt-get is all that great, and definitely the PPA business on Ubuntu is pretty outdated at this stage. So I can definitely see why a distribution that utilizes the fantastic package management system that Arch Linux uses has a lot going for it. Now, also, another part that gives Manjaro a lot of popularity is the fact that you can use a lot of the great things about Arch without having to bother doing your own custom install like you do with Arch Linux. You download a live CD, same as you do with every other Linux distribution, and you simply install it with a graphical installer the same way that you would with Ubuntu or anything like that. And that makes the barrier to entry very, very low on Manjaro, and I appreciate that. The fact that they have a graphical user interface to install your distribution the same as anything else makes it very accessible for new users. So it's basically Arch Linux without the hassles. That's a fantastic reason that a lot of people love Manjaro. Now, the other thing that works itself out when it comes to being based on Arch is that you get a very desktop environment agnostic distribution. What does this mean? It means that that Manjaro doesn't favor any one particular desktop environment. Yes, Manjaro has its roots in the XFCE desktop environment, and when you go to their website, which we will in just a moment, their primary, I guess, download, it does default to the XFCE edition, but they also have several other official editions, and then goodness knows how many community editions of Manjaro that you can install. And each edition seems to get the same amount of spit, polish, and custom tools as the others. Now compare this to other distributions that definitely favor certain desktop environments over others, and you have a very versatile operating system. No matter who you are, no matter what desktop environment you enjoy using, you can come in, install, or download a live CD of basically any desktop environment you want, either officially or the community versions, and you're going to be happy. Okay, so the other thing, I think that I guess the second big reason, so the first big reason, it's Arch Linux without the hassle. That comes with a lot of extra pros, like I've just mentioned. Second big reason is hardware support. And when it comes to hardware support on Manjaro, I think there's a lot of good lessons that other Linux desktop distributions could learn. Manjaro has its own hardware detection tools built into the system. A few other distributions do this as well, but I don't think there is a tool that presents the user with as many great options as what Manjaro does, both on a graphical, both using a graphical user interface as well as a command line interface. And the fact that they have excellent support for basically whatever tricky Wi-Fi cards or maybe dual graphics cards that you might have installed, hardware detection and driver installation is very, very good. And case in point would be definitely the whole NVIDIA Optimus drivers when it comes to configuring and running NVIDIA Optimus on Linux. It's kind of difficult as it is. Manjaro with the hardware detection manager is actually very good, probably the best at configuring and installing Optimus drivers and enabling on-the-fly graphics card switching between two graphics cards. So I think that's another key reason that Manjaro has gained a lot of popularity, is that in a world where it seems like hardware detection is a hit and miss, it seems like we take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, Manjaro seems to consistently be able to offer great hardware detection and give those tools to the user both in a GUI but also with powerful command line tools. So, second reason, hardware support. Third reason is rolling release. And again, this one has its pros and cons depending on who you are and what you like to do. But for the average desktop user, the stable branch of Manjaro Linux is actually pretty darn stable from what I can tell. Now again, I have yet to run Manjaro on the daily as my go-to distribution for some time. What this experiment is prompting me to do though is to give it a crack. Now when it comes to stability, I think for me and for what I do, stability is very important, which is why I've avoided Manjaro in the past. But it seems like as time has gone on and Manjaro has very intentionally separated itself between stable packages, between testing packages, between bleeding edge or unstable. it makes it very easy for the different users to separate themselves out. And when it comes to the stable branch, it seems the opinion around the internet is that it's pretty good. And for that, I appreciate that. You can jump in and see where packages are coming from, how you can see how long they've been there, and what are the incoming packages that are going to get updated, or which ones may be depreciated. So when it comes to desktop users on Linux, this is the best case scenario. A rolling release that doesn't break your system all that often is always going to be a good thing, because really everybody is sick to death of having to update their system and potentially break things between 2 or 3 year release cycles, like it is with long-term support releases, or maybe OpenSUSE Leap, even though OpenSUSE Leap actually does a great job of this, so I can't really knock OpenSUSE there. But definitely rolling releases are the way of the future, and I think a lot of users appreciate that about Manjaro. Okay, so the other key thing when it comes to another reason why I think Manjaro users really love using their system is because, again, it comes down to the tools that they have baked in, and the fact that one of the most fascinating things that I found about Manjaro was the fact that you could switch Linux kernels really easily. There's quite a few hoops to jump through when you try to do this on other operating systems, on other Linux distributions. But with Manjaro, it's actually very easy to just jump in and change which kernel you're running. If you're wanting to test out some newer features that are available in a newer version of the kernel, it's very easy to simply install the kernel and switch it using a simple GUI tool, and you're able to customize what Linux kernel you run. Not only that, it does give you some great information regarding what tools or what kernel they recommend using for your particular system. So as you can see with this particular one, I'm running kernel 4.14.65, and depending on what kernel I want to have, what kernel I might want to try out, I can simply install it using the package manager, change to that kernel, and not lose too much in the process. And I think users appreciate that. And finally, the last reason that I think Manjaro is really enjoying a boom at the moment is because of its sheer user base, its momentum as a distribution. Momentum affects a Linux project in so many ways. First of all, just the sheer mind share, or how much people are talking about Manjaro and discussing it in forums and all that kind of thing, usually brings users in from all kinds of other distributions to see what all the fuss is about, myself included. But also what it means is that packages tend to come in a lot quicker, just because you have the sheer amount of people out there looking for packages. Obviously, one of the biggest centralized destinations for software is the Arch user repository, and this is just an enormous catalog of software that people can natively install to a degree, using basically repackaging or customizing other packages for an Arch-based system. And so the Arch user repository gives users an awful lot of power, and basically as long as there is an Arch user out there that wants a particular package in the AUR, then Manjaro users can benefit from that. And that's just one of the plus sides of having such an enormous community and an enormous, background to draw from. Now, this also means that you get more community support, so no matter what desktop environment you're running, or no matter what combination of packages you're using, chances are somebody else has done it before and they've probably got a fix for it. And that holds true whether you're running Manjaro or Antigos, I don't even know how to say that one, or just stock Arch. Finally, another really great benefit of Manjaro gaining so much user base is the fact that you get a really truly global set of mirrors, and I think this is really important for a global Linux project to have awesome mirrors. Basically, this just means that whenever you download software, it's going to come from servers that are close to you to minimize the amount of time you're actually spending downloading stuff. And for Manjaro, you can just jump in here and look at all of the countries that they support with localized mirrors. It's got to be among the best. in the world. And also, the other thing that's worth mentioning is that when you've got a dedicated user base and a community that is actively involved, you also get much better support. So when it comes to the IRC channels that you can jump into, you've got various languages you can jump into, and from what I hear, the support that you can get from an IRC channel from Manjaro is actually pretty darn amazing. One other thing that I want to point out that comes from having a Linux distribution that has a significant community behind it and a bit of hype behind it is that you can get some pretty sweet custom hardware as well. So seeing projects like the Blade Book and the Spitfire Manjaro edition is a pretty awesome sign of a healthy Linux project. So those are my kind of roughly top 5 reasons. I know I smashed a bunch of other reasons in there as well among those, but I guess those are kind of, those boil down to the top 5 things that I think Manjaro really has going for it. And it is very, very, very tempting to jump in and to jump on this Manjaro bandwagon and see what it's all about. Definitely the biggest concerns for me were always stability with Manjaro, but I feel like it's such a mature project that and that there's just such a sheer amount of users that swear by Manjaro that it's actually probably, I would say, one of the most positively thought about Linux distributions in on the internet, it would seem. And so it definitely, I think it deserves its place at among the most popular distributions, if not the most well thought of and popular distribution at the moment. I think there's also an interesting thing that happens here when it comes to a distribution that is all things to all people, and that's a really hard thing to do, because you're either going to have a Linux distribution that attempts to follow a very clear vision and a clear focus, a very narrow user base of what it wants to achieve, or you're going to have distributions that go all out and just hope that they can sustain it. And at the moment, it seems like Manjaro has the sheer momentum to be able to sustain the amount of community editions and main editions that they have going on here. It seems like they've got the infrastructure to be able to support that, so that's great. But I think the other cool thing is that Manjaro seems to be able to strike a balance between catering to the new user, but also having a Linux distribution that kind of feels subversive, or it feels like this is the one that the cool guys run. It's not a baby down Linux distribution as much as others, maybe like Ubuntu or Linux Mint, and I'm not knocking those projects at all because they still hold the majority of user base, but there's something about Manjaro and its image and its brand that seems inherently nerdy or geeky, and for people looking to kind of get into a distribution that feels more like this is Linux. Like, this isn't trying to be a Windows or Mac kind of ripoff. It's not trying to deceive users with how easy to use it is. They're just trying to give the Linux people what the Linux people want. And I think that's owes a lot to their success. I guess call it pure hype or call it a lucky accident or whatever. But I think there's a lot that Linux distributions can learn from Manjaro. Well, let me know what you think. Why do you love Manjaro or not like Manjaro? Now's the time to start feeding your opinion into this conversation down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. I'm curious to hear. Well, that'll be all from me. It's been great to chat about Manjaro, and I will catch you all in the very next video.